Hello, everyone, and welcome live with me, Robert B. Frierson, here at BWS Young Exec Academy of Wealth Building. Generational Land Wealth Recovery Workshop Part 1 and 2. Discover what belongs to you and your family. Before I get started, what I want to do, I want everyone to relax, remove the tension, because this is not a sales presentation. This is an overview for African Americans who are seeking to recover what once was lost in their family. So let's dive in to the African American Land Recovery Workshop, Part 1. This workshop is designed to help you learn how to reclaim lost land, build wealth, and reunite with your family members. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the latest statistics and news reports about BWS Young Execs, about our company, about the individual like myself and my family, how we were able to benefit, and also show you how you can get involved by getting all your questions answered. So let's dive into some news statistics. I've been doing a lot of research over the term and time, and I'm realizing that we lack knowledge on what's really happening. First, to start with, are you aware that black-white wealth gap is getting worse? Over 160 years of U.S. data shows right here on this chart. As you can see, from 1950 to 2019, yes, we have gained, but we have lost a lot. And the gap itself is only opening because our application in our African American community is irrelevant. We don't apply any efforts to make a difference. Look at this statistics. Black land loss in United States. I was talking about the gap. Now look at the amount of land we're lost. Well, you have some of the people in the world like Bill Gates who own a lot of farmland, but at the end of the day, as a Caucasian European, he went out and he acquired a lot of land. So therefore he could stay in position with the white wealth. Well, white Americans hold 84% of the total U.S. wealth, but makes up only 60% of the population, while black Americans hold 4% of the wealth and make up 13% of the population. So, picture you at a barbecue, 100 plates come out to be served. 13 African Americans have to share a half a plate. That's our wealth gap. And we talking about at least about a sixth. That's right. Blacks own a sixth, 1/6 of the white wealth in America. Take a look at this family who bought land one generation after slavery. And as you can see here, the brother and sister spent 8 years in jail for refusing to leave the land. Between 1910 and 1997, African Americans lost about 90% of their farmland. One of the main causes of the property loss is heirs property where descendants of the landowners inherited land from their family, but no wills or legal documents to prove that they had ownership. Well, when you look a little bit more closer, let's go a flashback to 20, or just say 2000, year 2000. Look at the amount of land that whites owned. Out of 3.4 million acres, they own 3.2, and we only own 68,000 acres. That's an eye opener. So, what is the challenge? Let's dive a little bit more. What are the four major challenges black families face with wealth building? Well, one, a lack of family support. Yes, that's right. We're quick to sell a property after a family death. I was looking online And I noticed that a lot of families does not support one another like other cultures do and other ethnicities. No life insurance plans, no living trust or wills are available. So that's a lack of family support. The second major challenge black families face is a lack of black history. That's right, we don't understand or know our real history. I'm talking about the elders doesn't share and we don't ask. So we had never really find out. We can't find family locations of where family was located back in the history in the United States, where your country, you know where that is, but what state and what city did your great grandparents come up in? Because that's where a possible land may be. And not only that, we can't even get verified on certain technical platforms with our Social Security because we're Black American, which blocks us out from having access to different things. The third major problem we found is a lack of projected funding. We are familiar with crowdfunding, no experience with trust accounts. Capitalism funding is way out of reach. That's right, we're challenged with funding for our projects. Another and the last, which is the fourth, is a lack of legal support. We don't understand rules and laws, no experience with trust law, documents. I mean, it can be complicated. Okay, I get it. It's enough bad news, but in reality, this is the world we live daily. So let's move on. Here's the big question of the day. What's the solution to closing the wealth gap in the African American community? Well, let's see what God's words say. A man leaves inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Proverbs 13:22. Go read for yourself. We are the just. Just know that. Once you start doing your study, you understand we are the just. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Robert B. Frierson. I'm an executive director of BWS Young Exec Academy of Wealth Building. We are all over the globe. We have 30 branches nationwide. Just here in Los Angeles, we have 4 locations, which are phenomenal. You go to our website, bwsmarketplace.com, and you can learn more about our locations. We're trying to reach the mass of African Americans, so we decided to open up an office next to each one of the historic black universities throughout the country, pretty much giving them access to students to be able to come in and learn how to scale wealth. Well, let me tell you a bit about myself. Robert B. Frierson, as executive director, I started my first business in 1980. I was selling candy. That's right, even had a lemon stand, a lemonade stand. At the age of 16, my mom passed away, leaving 8 children. In 1988, I got involved with mortgage lending as a loan processor. By 1998, I was already 10 years seasoned as a loan underwriter at Countrywide, one of the biggest bankers in the world. By 2005, I completed my first 25 home investment portfolio. 2016, I began the family wealth building for the next generation. And here we are today. So the question is, what services do we offer African Americans in the community in effort to close the wealth gap? Well, wealth building, resource network. Yes, that's right. We provide a resource network that allow African Americans to tap in. We offer money management, debt management. We also offer financial planning. We offer wealth management as well. We offer as well credit restoration and life insurance. These are the key wealth building resources one need in order to sustain wealth. Well, we also offer wealth building workshops like the one that you're attending now. This is the first part to part 2, which is a live one-on-one before we go into the 4-part workshop itself. So let me share with you a little bit more. We have the real estate investment portfolio workshop, which is phenomenal. We also have the African American Family Bank. This is when you can actually, you and your family, open up your own bank. We have the financial planning and money management workshop for retirees. We also provide business branding and funding startup workshops. And not only that, but we offer the African American Land Recovery workshop, which you're attending right now. Our goal is to provide you with the knowledge and resources you need to succeed in your efforts to reclaim what's rightfully yours in your family. Let me ask the question: why did the black family lose Bruce's Beach? That's right, the black family was the Bruce family. And you go look for yourself, ceo.lacounty.gov, and learn for yourself. It was well documented that the real reason behind the eminent domain process was racially motivated, with the intentions of bringing an end to the successful black business and to also offset in the settlements and the development of business in Manhattan Beach for African Americans. Well, remember earlier when I illustrated the four major challenges black families face when it comes to wealth building? Well, yes, lack of family support, black history, we have a lack of projected funding, and we have a lack of legal knowledge. We know these are the main four key areas that we suffer. That's why we don't move forward when it's time to acquire and or make something happen in efforts to close the wealth gap. So let's jump deeper into the solution, because I'm more than sure 80% or more of the African Americans here today who's listening have land to recover in their names and do not know where to start. Like myself and my family at one time, we didn't know where to start. So what we did was we got together, we created a support band. The second thing we did was build the family tree. The third thing we did, we put a fundraiser together to be able to have all the taxes paid. And then we was able to start our claiming process for the mineral oil rights, which wells were already in the ground. So now we have new wells put in the ground and got rid of the old wells, and now we're moving forward with a new claim. So therefore, my children and their children, which is my grandchildren, will be able to have land and also income coming in from the wealth. Well, what are the four main ingredients to being successful at the land recovery for your family? Well, there's four ingredients. The first ingredient is family, coming together, communicating. Now, I hear that story and it's true because I have a family who I love and who love me. Every family have their own ups and downs, but I hear that family in the African American community, we are so distraught where we do not come together because of not only our upbringings, but things that we have actually been exposed to mentally, psychologically, emotionally. We've been damaged. But my family, we had to actually come together. And the first time it wasn't a success because once again, I had two sisters that were arguing back and forth about, they didn't want to give the information to the attorney. That was way back then, 20 years ago. But here we are today. We was able to come back again and communicate amongst one another. And not only that, but we was able to have an elder in our family to sit in and share with us the history of our grandparents and our great grandparents and where they were located and how they were raised and all those great things that plays a big part. So that's the first main ingredient, is being able to have family that is willing to come together. The second main ingredient to this process is a generational family tree. Now, this is where it gets fun. Everyone got together and was like, okay, who is this? Who is that? And we start plucking them in. Family tree itself grew where we was able to see who was who and where they were located. So therefore we was able to go back and retrieve from the elders, of our family location land. The third main ingredient is being able to have funding. You know, you got to have like a GoFundMe platform to raise money in efforts to hire an attorney which is the trustee that maintains the trust, pay for current property taxes, and all other legal requirements to make the family project a success. So, like myself, we have a family trust fund that we put together to be able to acquire capital, to be able not only to pay taxes and pay the attorney, but to acquire more land in those areas, in the surrounding areas. The fourth main ingredient is having the right law firm and or attorney to support your claim of rights that belong to you and your family. Now, how do we combine these ingredients to work in our favor? That's what we're going to talk about. Let's get into that. Well, this is a 4-week, 4-part workshop, and it's all via Zoom online, which makes this so unique. You don't have to leave your home to come to an office and learn. You can learn just how you are right now by your phone, or at your living room. This is so phenomenal, and this is a live interactive workshop. Keep in mind, this is a hands-on family workshop hosted every Monday via Zoom from 7 to 9 for 4 weeks straight. Okay? That's Pacific Standard Time from 7 to 9. 4 weeks straight, so you make sure the family got dinner and everybody's ready to rock and roll and log in. And at that point in time, now it's time to go ahead and begin to uncover what belongs to you and your family. Here's how it works. Week 1, we go over the family development plan. Now, what makes it so unique in the family development plan is that we learn, we do a few things. Okay? Keep in mind, I'm just talking to you because this is not for sale. I would love to see a lot of families out here succeed at this project. So, therefore, we can start by ringing the bell in our community to get more African Americans to focus on acquiring what was once lost, like the Bruce family did. Basically, if you really think about it, the Bruce family lost the beach from eminent domain. This generation came back and got it back. But however, it took them almost a decade to get it back because they had to work on going through the legal formalities. And not to remind you, they turned around and sold it after they acquired the property back. They sold the property. What we want to do is we want to keep all the land we can. That's part of closing the wealth gap. I was on Facebook and I saw a lot of families selling land. A lot of blacks down south. Oh, I got plots for sale. But they're not thinking the next generation. They're thinking about this heir and how much money they need to do what they need to do. So in the first week, we're going to learn family commitment, organizational chart we're going to develop. We're going to create a directory system. Not only that, we're going to learn positions and roles. Also, we're going to go over contributions, who going to contribute, and what are the expectations of the individuals that contribute to this in the family. So now, a question always come up too, but, well, what if I go get everything together and I do all this and my whole family benefit, but they don't participate? Well, here it is. We have this thing that I emphasize. If you have family that don't want to participate, well, that's okay, because they got to go through their own research without you telling them what you already acquired, and then meet you on that end later if that's what they choose to do. But if you want to be a blessing, like myself, I wanted to make sure that all my brothers and sisters and everybody got it, because a lot of them not able to comprehend it. So there ain't a lot of times that they didn't want to participate, but a lot of them wasn't able to comprehend. And maybe I was looking from the angle of God put me in the forefront of my family to be the one to lead them to the land, like God did with Joseph. Okay. So it was one of the things I had to be, you know, chosen as a leader in the family to be able to help my family and not block them out. So just know that you're doing a good thing for your family and generations to come. In the second week, we go focus on family tree building. This is where it gets deep. After you done got the commitment from the family members who want to be on your team, the second week we go over the family tree building process. This is when we get together and we start, we pull out the family tree app. We start doing the Black Research Platform, far as like, who's who once again, like I mentioned earlier. And not only that, we're able to do a land recovery and development. This is when we dive into the app itself. And on the land recovery itself, we're able to now go into the land. We have websites that allow us to be able to acquire the data to say, oh, this is my last name. This is what belongs to us. And then you go learn how generational ancestry, how it works in far as the stories of the history that we talked about pretty much in researching. This is a search event overall because you could discover the lands that belong to you in the second week. Now, that question comes up again. Come another question. Well, what if I'm not able to find any land in my family? Well, once again, we're not only looking for lost land, but we're creating land. Okay, and let me share with you what I mean by that. I'm gonna go over here and I want y'all to take a look. This is my post here that I put up for my family, and the whole ideal of this post itself is Frierson Family Wealth Building Trust Fund, and as you can see here, we are purchasing land all through Frierson, Louisiana. My last name is Frierson. Frierson, Louisiana have like tons of land for sale. So we're going back to acquire land. So this is for after we already discovered our land. Now we got 174 acres over to the left. And on my mom's side, on my dad's side, we found land that we're going after, but we're not only going after what's lost, but we're going to develop land. So it ain't just for lost land, but it's to build generational wealth for the next generation. So therefore, they don't have to go through the same thing all over again. So what I'm gonna do here, I want y'all to understand that it's so important that we be able to um, look for land. Not only that, but find land that's for generations to come, because it's so important. The next generation go need something. Yes, they not only go need something, but they go need to know that hey, they are secured and their children are secured. Okay, that is so important. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go into the next week, and this is the last week. Okay, the third week. The third week, after we complete the family in the first week, summarizing, everybody getting together and committing. The second week, we do what you call the search event. Once we find the land, and if we're not able to find land, we start looking for land to purchase and putting it on a platform for all of our family. Now, in the third week, this is when we get into financial planning and fundraising platform itself. That's right. We have what you call a family trust fund account, okay, that we help you build. And this is a great trust fund. It's attached to a GoFundMe, and it allows us to be able to operate no matter where from our desktop or from our tablet. But however, go teach you how to activate a family bank account, which is a trust account, and also, we're going to show you how to develop what you call a declaration of family trust that allow each one of you to have a key role player as a beneficiary, and not only that, but as a trustee and a trustor. Then we show you how to set up the crawl fund that allow you to be able to have like a GoFundMe account where everyone can put their money in that's attached directly to the trust account with the attorney, so there ain't no one man holding the money or the bag in the family. Okay. And not only that, but it's going to be projected development instructions. So if something was to happen to one, it continue to go on for generations to generation. It could be a 200-year trust. Okay. So now, in the last week, we go dive deep into a legal support team. That's right. We go, you know, get it deeper into the paralegal process, the guidelines and the laws to land, the trust fund rules and regulations with the attorney. This is what the attorney go teach. He's going to show you legal documents, state and local laws, and how the trust fund works. So having a good legal team for the family is going to play a big role on the next generations to come. Now, how much does the process cost? If I hire a private third party, If I hire someone to do this for me, how much would they charge me? Well, let's take a look. Studies have shown, and the research development firms will charge for something like this about $3,750 when we did our homework. And that's state by state case, and it's different every state. Okay. Also, to have a crowdfund set up, that's a $500 setup for the fundraising event and marketing across the internet. $500 setup just for that. And the attorney trust and structure is $9,500. That's for them to structure, certify, and manage the trust account. They want $9,500 to start. Okay, that's a total of $13,750 is what it will cost for you to sit back and say, "Let me just pay someone to do this." Yes, that's right. Now, how much does it cost to participate in the land recovery workshop? Well, here's a summary. All four parts of this workshop, total cost is only $499 with a one-time application fee of $175. Total enrollment is $674. That's right, it's only $674. Well, we still run the Black Friday special all the way to the end of this week right here, and we're taking 50% off. That means you'll be only paying $250 for the workshop, which is 50% off, and you get $75 off the app fee, which is $125. Today, only for this particular workshop, we only doing a $375 special, and we only could take 25 heads. Now I got 100 people here that registered for this workshop, and we know only 25 are really going to be serious, because I believe in the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people go do 80% of the work. So let me talk to 80% of the people that's here, that's just paying attention, that's just looking, and that's just listening, and that's go away like they was a man in the mirror standing there looking and never knew they was there. Thank you for participating. Now, for you doers, I'm going to show you doers, which is the 20 percenters. The 20% of the people on here that are doers, here are the 3 steps to enroll. The first role is you must reserve your seating for the workshop immediately. The second step is you make a payment. The third step is you get your email confirmation and your seat is locked in. Let me dive into that. That first step, for those only for the 25, we only could take 25 because it's an intimate workshop. We don't want to have 100, 200, 300 people in this workshop at one time. We want to make it very intimate, because another 2 weeks we'll be doing the workshop, which called a review. And not only that, but however, we won't have this workshop for another 90 days. So if you're interested, I suggest that you go to second www in the URL at the top, not the Google search. In the URL, put in www.second, which is 2indeed chance dot today, not .com, secondchance.today. And this will reserve and also hold your seating. And your second step will be, once you reserve your seating, you're going to get a live one-on-one before you make any payments. In that live one-on-one, we'll be able to go through and answer any questions you have. Make sure you got everything that you need to be able to make your flat payment of $375. We accept Zelle at Chase, and Cash App is the only forms. We do not do POS systems. Once you learn about that, you won't do it neither. This is the most profound way to be able to get you enrolled immediately. The third will be to receive an email confirmation. That's right, you'll receive an email confirmation as a third step that says that you are locked in after you get done with your one-on-one. So once again, once you reserve your seat, now here's what's next. And this is for serious people only. You book a live one-on-one meeting directly with me, and that's today. You do it today, and you go to secondchance.today. And when we get done with that booking, that'll be considered step 1. Step 2, we gonna go through and answer any questions you may have once again, and then we're going to get you locked in, and then you can check your email while you're there in the conference with me one-on-one and confirm that your seating is completed, and we'll see you at the workshop on Monday. Now, for any other questions or whatnot, Make sure that you book your seating so therefore we could get you going in this live one-on-one. I want to thank everyone for participating in this generational land recovery workshop. Part 1, part 2 is the one-on-one, and I look forward to seeing you all there real soon, and have such a great day.